Hello, it's Debbie Gilbert from the Business Awards Show, and I'm also the founder of the Best Business Women Awards. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Jennie Bayliss, an entrepreneur with a number of different business interests, and she has been in business for a very, very long time. So we are going to be talking about her latest venture, which just bagged her a Best New Business Award at the SME Bedfordshire Awards. And she's a finalist in the Best Business Women Awards as well for Best New Business. And we're going to talk about her business journey, her awards journey, because her awards journey is over 10 years of various different awards. And we're going to talk about pitching your business to gain investment and what she's been up to with the VIP Launchpad competition as well. So welcome, Jennie.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
We were saying just before we set record that we met many, 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 many years ago at networking, didn't we?
Yes, I mean, I've been doing my own thing for about 15 years, so I
Yeah.
suspect it was about 15 years ago.
And we've kind of paths have crossed backwards and forwards along the way.
Yeah.
Um, and your latest venture is, well, I have to say something close to my own heart. Everybody that knows me will know this, cocktails.
Yes.
So
Yes.
tell us about what you've been up to and how you've ended up in the world of cocktails.
I know it's been a kind of crazy like last sort of year really, but yeah, Letterbox Cocktails is the business that I have been entering awards for this year, and we shall be coming to your awards in October. Two of the team, the younger members of the team will be coming
Oh,
along, which they're really excited about. But yeah, I mean, I started about 15 years ago. I had a virtual PA company. That was my first business, and I entered two awards then and won those awards. So I won a Best New Business Award then, which was SME Bedfordshire again. And then I won a Virtual PA of the Year award. So I won like a regional award and then went into the nationals and won the national. I think that was 2015. So it's been a fair old while. But what I would say is from those awards, it just gave me a confidence
mm,
that what I'm doing is good. And when you're going through that awards process and you're filling in the form and you're thinking about all the things that you've done and you've achieved and what you stand for and your values, even if you don't get shortlisted, it's such a good reflection time. And I always
mm,
remember thinking that, like, wow, I've actually achieved quite a lot. Like just reading it back through, thinking, actually, I'm doing okay. This is going well. And then yeah, obviously I won, and it's really good for it. Just opens doors, and it validates to other people that you've got something that's credible and that actually is producing something. So they were the first kind of couple of awards that I entered. And then I've got a project management company. I've never entered any awards with them actually. I don't know why, just hasn't really been kind of on the agenda. I've had that for about 10 years. And then Letterbox Cocktails, I started a couple of years ago, didn't really do much with it very seriously until last year. And then I sort of kind of like started to build the team up. And one of the team entered us for the business shows VIP Launchpad in, I think that was about September. And we got shortlisted and we went to the final in November. We pitched, got into the big final in the final three, and we won the pitch. And it was it was really, really tough. I mean, there probably was about 300 people watching. We're in the
Oh, wow.
middle of the Excel. You've got big famous judges, Simon Squibb, Tommy Mallet, Chelsea from National Mentoring, and you're you're just literally there. You just literally you have a very tight timeline of 5 minutes, 5 minutes for Q&A. You've got to get your message across. And we won, and it was £100,000 prize. We got £10,000 of cash and 90 grand's worth of benefits. And that single day turned us into a proper business. It was like, okay, now we have legal support, a website, mentoring, coaching, anything that you need to set up a business, we kind of got. And it was literally that one single moment that actually turned us from kind of like side hustle to proper business. And now here we are. We've won Best New Business at the SME Bedfordshire. We're into the finals. We're into the finals for the Best Business Women Awards as well, which is fabulous. And we just have had our SEIS approval, so we're going out for investment. And that's the plan for the next sort of 6 months, to go out and fundraise, really.
And you did a crowdfunding competition as well, didn't you?
We did the crowdfunding. That was a really interesting exercise. We did really well. So much better. It was so hard, actually. It's very hard to promote something where, yes, there is rewards, but people could just buy things off the website anyway. So we're trying to find things that were different. We offered some really unique rewards that people couldn't buy, and just getting people to understand that, you're not just giving us money, like we're actually doing this to rebrand, or to buy labels, to buy boxes, to create that premium product, to do the things that are on top of your day-to-day runnings. We have about 35 flavors. So 35 flavors in 2 different sizes is 70 labels. So, you can't just print off 10 labels. You go to a printer, you're going to need 100 of each at least. That's a lot of labels. That's a lot of cost. So, for us, the money was really, really helpful, but actually the brand awareness from the crowdfund was really good. And actually being in a crowdfund I think it was Muddy Stilettos that were doing it, and it was all about female businesses. And I know you guys were on there, and it just gave us a bit of brand awareness as well in the mix, which it costs a lot of money to advertise. So actually just the brand awareness through doing the crowdfund, it just gave us something to talk about as well. I love that.
Yeah. So why cocktails, Jenny? I'm intrigued to understand, why did you go down this path?
So I was looking for something else to do, as you do. And I'd been looking for something to buy. That was my initial thing. Like, I might just buy a business. And my initial thought was, I'm going to buy like a really boring business. Like, everyone talks about like the laundromats, or, a storage facility. And I thought, you know what? I'd just like to maybe just buy something, or invest in something that was kind of different. And everything I'd done to date had all been service businesses. So I was thinking, I really want to do something producty, something different that kind of like tests my skills. Anyway, I did like loads of research. Anyway, I met this guy, and he had a bar in South London, and he had been selling cocktails as well through his bar, but sort of kind of through COVID. So he'd kind of like started doing it, but he was about to sell the bar. So he was like, I don't want to just like get rid of everything, but I've kind of got this concept, and would I be interested in buying it? So it wasn't a business. It was just something that he'd been doing through COVID. And so I went to meet with him, and it was like, do you know what? I think I could turn this into a business. Like, he had the idea of the bottle shape. He had the labels. It's very different to how it is now, but the concept was really simple. Like, he was a mixologist. He understood how to make the recipes, and they were really good premium products, fresh ingredients, nothing added. And I thought, you know what? I think I can do that. And so that's kind of how it happened. So I kind of set up the business, set it up as Letterbox Cocktails, got it all registered, and yeah, he went off. They were having a baby. That's why he was shutting the bar. And yeah, created a business from kind of like an idea that he'd had during COVID, and didn't want to carry on with.
So the uniqueness of the product is the fact that these bottles are flat and they fit in a box, which can literally be posted through somebody's letterbox.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everything we add to it needs to fit into that box. So this year, for example, we've partnered with a chocolate company called Knorr, and their chocolate is flat and it fits on top. So it's a lovely little add-on, and still fits through the mailbox. So, I think there's something really great in receiving a delivery, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't get a lot of post now. I mean, I very rarely get actual post, but when I've ordered something and I know it's going to arrive, like, even if it's the most boring product, it's like, oh, I've got a delivery coming. And there's something good about that. Like, I really value the online kind of like ability to buy things. Like, I am very time poor. So I don't really have time to go to the shops. So if I can send something to someone and I'm not doing it via a big corporate organization, I would much rather just buy something on the internet and post it through than have to go to the shops, buy it, sort it out, take it. I don't massively have time for that. So that's kind of like, I liked that concept. Like that is filling a need that I have in my life. And I can see that a lot of people have that need. Like we are all pretty much time poor.
Totally. I mean, I use Moonpig a lot. I'm going to admit that.
Yeah.
Get cards and little gifts and get them
Yeah.
sent out.
Because
Um,
then they'll say, do you want to add this on? And it's
yeah.
like, do you know what? Actually, I do, because then I don't have to think about doing anything else. And I am fully supportive of that. Yeah.
So, what's the best-selling cocktail?
So without doubt, it's margarita,
Hmm.
followed by espresso martini and passion daiquiri.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my favorite out of those would be passion daiquiri. I do
Mm.
like a nice passion daiquiri. I like a sweet cocktail. I like I like really flavoursome, like and less alcohol heavy. So some cocktails are very alcohol heavy, like Negroni or whiskey sours or old fashioned. I'm less about those. I'm way more about like passion daiquiri, rosemary and rhubarb sours. I like the flavour.
So, are most of your orders coming in are going to individuals, or are you doing businesses, weddings, and things like that as well?
Mostly it's business to customer. So mostly it's someone goes on the website and orders for themselves or for a gift.
Mm.
Um, we've started doing weddings this year. So we do like minis and people can either have it as like with their names on, a table number, a thank you. We've done various different kind of
Mm.
versions. And then last year was our first proper Christmas and we did quite a lot of to corporates. So
Mm.
corporates were ordering for thank yous to their customers or to their staff. And I suspect this year will be the same. We don't do a lot of corporate, but I think that's something I'd like to like kind of like venture into like more next year. But we're definitely direct to customer.
Yeah. So, coming back to the VIP Launchpad that you did, what sort of preparation did you have to do for that? Because that must have been quite intense.
So we basically had to have a pitch deck
Mm.
that fulfilled 5 areas and they actually scored us. They had scorecards on 5 areas. So it was kind of about what our vision was, what our growth was looking like. Basically, anything that you'd put in a pitch deck to go out to investor, you kind of had to put it in there. So you needed to tell your story very quickly because 5 minutes goes really fast.
Mm.
So you had to tell your story really quick and then kind of talk about where you felt that the business could go in the next kind of like 5 years. And they wanted to see that, this investment would make a difference. Uh,
Mm.
many of our competitors in that final 15 were AI. It was
Ah.
an AI basis, and some of them genuinely I was above my like ability to understand. Like they were genius. Um, but ours is really simple. It's a product. Like you could see the product, you could feel it. Like we took it with us, we gave out samples. Um, so it's not difficult to understand. And I think sometimes when you're getting your message out there, you have to be understood. And
Mm.
simple is good. Whereas, some of those things that they were pitching, it was just like absolutely crazy and it didn't feel real. And I think sometimes you need to be real. And I know AI is way more, even a year on now, we're kind of in a different space and people understand it more. But at that point in time, I was just like, I don't understand what you're even selling. So, how can anyone judge you for that? It's really tricky. Whereas, ours it's very simple. It's ready to drink cocktails through the post, and we have really clear principles of fresh premium ingredients, and that's literally it. So, yeah, I mean that was that was a turning point of our business without a doubt.
Were you expecting to win? I mean, was it a
No,
shock?
I was absolutely gobsmacked. I mean, another lady that was pitching, she had an idea for a recyclable test. You know the test that you did in COVID, where yeah, lateral flow tests. her business was about making recyclable ones, because you don't just use them in instances of illness, you do use them in diagnosis, IVF, all sorts of things. And it was really good. It was a great pitch, and I actually thought that she might win because she'd won quite a lot of other things already. But perhaps that's why she didn't win, because she was less of a startup than we were. It was hard. It's hard to know, because when you're in your pitch, you can't really see it for what it is, and you just sort of give it your best shot, really. So, you know,
Amazing.
I didn't think we'd win, but I'm super glad we did.
Amazing. And of course, that then springboarded you to the SME Bedfordshire Awards, which is a local awards to you, but they are county awards. So, how was that feeling when you won that Best New Business? That must have been incredible.
Yeah, again, I mean, the other people in our category, I just looked at them and I thought, oh my God, they're amazing. Like, they are so good. Like, we will never win. But, you know, yes, you have to make sure you tick the boxes in how to fill the form in and answer the questions. And yes, I understand that. Like, I know that I need to answer the questions and actually give evidence, but still, you still have to have a business that the judges like the look of, and they actually believe in that business. So, I was oh yeah, we were so happy. And obviously Lucy is my youngest, and she works in the business, and she came and she got to experience that, and it was just such a great night. And they did a great job on that night. They gave us a video afterwards. I mean, more than we could have expected, I have to say. And the publicity that you get, you can't get that without entering. So, entering the awards is definitely a real bonus for us.
So, what PR have you had for that and for the Best Business Women Awards?
So for both of them, we've gone into like the local papers. So for with the Chamber of Commerce, they're pretty good at putting stuff on LinkedIn as well. So we had things through them and through the like local Bedford independent paper. And then for your Best Business Women Awards, we've written to local papers and we've featured in both print and online. So we got a photo last night. Someone had found we were in a business online magazine or something, and it's the same article, and it's all about the PR for this awards. And so that's brilliant, because we've still got a month to go, just over a month to go, and we've got quite a lot of articles already in the bag, which is brilliant. So it, even if you don't win, you can still create PR
Mm.
opportunities from it, and still create content that can
Yeah.
go out there and be on LinkedIn all the time, or on the local press page.
Mm.
And a lot of those are really good at posting on like Twitter and Facebook and things like that, which then again widens your audience. And we put an article out on, I think it was after the Beds SME Awards. And since that, a guy contacted me and said, are you looking for investment? And I said, actually, we will be. We're going out for investment in the last quarter of the year. And he's become a really good customer. So, you just think, you never know what door it's going to open. You never know who's going to read it.
Mm.
So for me, awards is just another great opportunity to talk about ourselves.
Yeah. So it's great for brand awareness for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So what's the plan with Letterbox Cocktails, in terms of the next sort of 2 to 5 years? What do you plan to do with it?
So the next sort of 6 months, we're going out for investment. So we've got our SEIS ready now. So we're going out for the first £250,000 investment, which will take us to, that should take us to sort of £1.5 million a year turnover. That's kind of the plan. And then from that, we would then need to scale again. But the plan has always been to build and sell.
Mm.
I started from the beginning knowing that it was not something that I would keep forever.
Mm.
7 year roughly plan to build it to a point where I think I could get it to a sale. But that's kind of the plan. So we hope to be, I think when I looked through my SEIS pitch deck the other night, I think by the time we get to sale, I want to be at a 8 to 10 million turnover a year, and
Mm.
that will be the trigger for sale.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And you're presumably looking at premises or outsourcing the production eventually of all
Yeah,
of this.
yeah. Well, I think we'll probably
Hmm.
go for outsourcing. I've spoke to lots of different founders along the way, and the stories of having their own kind of
Mm,
warehouse sort of puts me off a little bit. So I think if you can find a good outsourced bottler or what some parts of the process, they know what they're doing. They understand how to do it and they're set up to go. That kind of feels a bit more aligned to how I would foresee the future of the business rather than kind of starting from scratch. So
mm.
yeah, I think that's what we'll be kind of looking for in the next couple of years.
So you've had a very, very long business journey, 15 years, which is an awful long time. So what tips would you share with other people that have kind of got you through the last 15 years?
For me, my network has been absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So it's it's who you know and who you feel you can ask for help on. So I've done various like mentoring groups, I've been in various networking groups. Any success that I've had or any amazing customer has come from my network. It hasn't just materialized, it's because I've known someone or they've known me. And I think a strong network is 100% what I always try to build no matter what. So you can ask those questions. Like right now, we're looking for investment. It's not about do you want to invest in me? It's like who do you know that might be interested? And if you've got a decent, strong network, I would say they are 100%, they make or break how you get
Mm,
on. And about it's about staying adaptable. Like we're all sitting here thinking, what does AI look like for us? Like, is it positive? Is it negative? Does it mean I'll be quicker, faster, smarter, richer, or does it mean I'll have less opportunities? So you have to be adaptable. I've come into a product-based business now, and okay, AI is not going to suddenly start making products. I mean, it might, I don't know. But right now, I see for my project management business, that will be a much harder
yeah,
business to continue than it will be in the product space. So it is
yeah.
about being adaptable. And I think just think about who your kind of like customer is. Like, in the project management, it's my customer base was, social housing and internet service providers, and they've kind of like got to a point where they don't need us anymore, and that's absolutely fine. So it's kind of like, what does my customer need? Well, if they don't need that, what do they need? And with the cocktails, for me, it's like, what would I need if I was looking? So it's like convenience, speed, quality, and it's always trying to remember what the customer wants.
Mm. And it's an unusual gift idea, isn't it? Because,
Yeah.
flowers, it's been a bit done, chocolate's been a bit done. So actually doing something a bit different is, what the market needs, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, and people like choice, right?
Yeah.
Like, you go on, say, for example, Amazon. You go on Amazon because there's 10,000 things to choose from, and you make your choice probably from the first page. But if people know that there's more than a choice than just flowers, then it gives people options. And
Mm,
we do really good non-alcoholics as well. I completely get that lots of people don't drink anymore. I completely get that. But we definitely like choice in this life.
that's amazing. So if somebody's listening to this and they're in their startup phase, because I know you are in your startup phase with Letterbox Cocktails, but you've been in business an awful long time.
Yeah.
What sort of advice would you give them in addition to building a network? Where would you say that they need to go and invest their time and money in that early startup phase?
So, I mean, if they can find someone to buddy up with, a mentor or someone that's done it before in their situation, even if they can do it on a kind of like free basis or maybe like a small amount of pay, that would really help because they can learn from the mistakes that someone else has made. But it just depends what it is that they do, but they need to invest in the route that gets them to their customers. So if it's a website, if they're going to sell on a website, they need to make sure that they've got that website and make sure it's a really decent one.
Mm,
Or if they sell via, I don't know, cold calling or emails, whatever it is that their channel to their customer is, that's where they need to put their investment.
yeah, because there's so much to do, isn't there, in that early
So,
startup phase? And I speak to a lot of people who spend hours antagonizing themselves about a logo. I
oh
mean,
my God.
is that where they should be spending their time, really?
I genuinely don't think you should. I mean, they're the things you sort of get perfect on later, really. I mean, people say procrastination is the killer of everything, and that is the truth because you're like, if you want it to be perfect, you're never going to start. So you have to get the bare minimum that you can out there and then build from that because the only way you're going to get money in is if you actually make a start, you know.
Mm,
So I would say whatever it is, say if you're going to sell a product, just get some sort of landing page and sales page ready. Like you can create Shopify accounts now for £1 a month for 3 months. You know, get someone to help you and just create the absolute basic and just
mm,
start with it. But if people can't find the way to buy from you, that's going to prevent everything. You know, even if you just start posting on LinkedIn, if you're selling a service, just create some content. You've got to get out there so people can find you. Use yourself if you haven't got your business set up. Be your own brand, you know. Um, but if you're going to spend loads of time creating a beautiful logo and packaging, I guarantee you in 6 months you're going to be like, I don't like it anymore. It's not me, you know, I need something else. So you might as well save that time now and money.
yeah, and yeah, because it can be hard to drill down and go through what is important, and I think people do procrastinate a lot, and that's why a lot of ideas never reach fruition, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, you need someone to hold you to account. Like there's loads of places that will do mentoring for free.
Mm,
I do mentoring through a charity called Be the Business, and they have a lot of mentors on there. And business go to them and get it for free, and they'll have someone for 6 months, and they just help them hold them to account. And that's what it is. If no one's saying to you, "Have you done it?" you probably won't do it. You know, you've got to have someone like literally asking you, is it done? How are you getting on? Where is it? You know,
mm,
otherwise it just won't happen.
no, you'll just never get through that to-do list. And of course, a lot of people start a business as a side hustle, which you sort of spoke about at the very beginning. And again, they don't get it to a full-time business because they don't give it the time it needs to convert it from a side hustle into a full-time business. So it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, you have to take the risks, you know.
Mm,
There has to be risks taken, and you know, I don't know how much money I've ploughed into it, but I'm sure you know, in a couple of years, I'll be able to get it back, and that's great. But you will need a bit of time, you will need a bit of money, and at some point, you're going to have to take the risk of not doing a 9 to 5, or maybe working part time, or doing something, because otherwise, it will never grow. You know, you've only got so much time and so much resource to give to something. So if you're not all in, it will be a lot harder.
yeah, no, I agree with that. Well, it's been great chatting to you today and hearing all about this journey, which I'm really excited to follow and see where you end up because I think it's going to be amazing. So I really appreciate you giving your time today, and we will make sure that Jenny's details are in the show notes. So if you want to order a letterbox cocktail for your loved ones or your clients this Christmas, or whenever for their birthdays or special occasions, then you'll be able to do that. And yeah, obviously people could potentially contact you if they are interested in investing in letterbox cocktails, because it does sound like quite an exciting investment opportunity.
No, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
We are on the journey now to a UK takeover for everything. So watch this space.
Fantastic. And we wish you continued success with the business. Thank you.
Much.